Okay, I'm resting today at a motel in Lompoc, California, and I thought it would be a great time to do an update on the gear that I'm still using and the gear that I've gotten rid of after how many, I'm not sure what the mileage is, but from the border to Lompoc. So from the border to central coast of California. And yeah, let's jump right in. These are my shoes, and they've got some clips on the bottom. I got these ones because you can use them for mountain biking or road biking, and you can walk in them. That's really useful when I'm touring because now these are the only pair of shoes that I'm going to be carrying. Yeah, I had some flats, but they were kind of giving me blisters and they weren't comfortable. I was using those as just to walk around in on rest days. Yeah, I'm going to ditch those. Those are these guys right here. They weren't very comfortable and they're adding weight, so not going to be carrying those anymore. And then here I've got helmet, gloves, reflective vest, and sunglasses. Again, all stuff that I wear. My actual clothes are drying right now, but I just have the shirt, a sports bra, riding pants, riding socks. And then as for clothes that I wear off the bike, I've got some jeans, tank top, another kind of bra that I wear, and then what else? Underwear, of course, underwear is very important, and some sleeping pants. Sorry, I forgot my cardigan. This is what I wear for, when I'm in town and whatever. The only other piece of clothing that I have is this rain jacket here. I haven't worn it yet because I've just been going through Southern California in the summer, so. Okay, here's my bike. Very briefly, I'll go over what's here. This is the back rack for the panniers. I've got 2 water bottle cages and water bottles. Then up here, I've got a cell phone mount and light. The rear light, I usually don't put up here. I will tie it to the backpack that I have because I will stack that on top of the panniers here and then just tie it so it's on the back because you wouldn't be able to see it if when I have the backpack on here, it covers this part. So there's that. Okay, and then moving on to the actual gear. Let's start with what I have in my backpack here. So this is the backpack. You just fold it up here, and it's made of this nice waterproof material, which again, I've been riding through Southern California and haven't really had a chance to test out the waterproofness. This is a Dakine Cyclone, I think is the name of the pack. I really like it so far. There's a lot of space in here. It's got this side pouch, which I'll just throw like my cycling gloves or vest in, things like that that I need quick, easy access to. And then there's another little zipper pouch here, but I don't really use that. What I like to do with this pack is I will put it, when I'm riding long distances, I'll tie it to the top of the panniers over here. That way it's off my back. When I am just riding short distances, like around town, then I'll put it on my back because I use this rope here or paracord to tie it to the bike, and it takes a little while to tie it. So just if I'm gonna go somewhere where I have to take the gear off the bike again anyways, then I will just keep it on my back. But yeah, I don't like to keep it on my back for the long distances just because it's quite heavy and all that weight will make it like harder to breathe and stuff, which is kind of important. Now going over what I put in the backpack, here on the bottom I put my sleeping pad. This one is a Thermalite ProLite Plus. I just got it and I've only used it one night, and so far it's great. I was using a inflatable Big Agnes air mattress, and that thing leaked a lot. For me, it was kind of a pain in the butt to get into camp and you're really tired and you have to blow up the air mattress, and then in the morning when you're still tired you have to, squeeze all the air out of it. And yeah, and then when it started leaking, it just like, I don't know if I want to go back to air mattresses again because it was a real pain. So this one is a self-inflating air mattress. It's kind of like a hybrid between the air mattress and just the foam ones, because this one has self-inflating foam in it. So it'll mostly inflate on its own, and then you just, if you want it a little firmer, you'll blow some air in there, and yeah, you're all set. I found it was really easy to set up and take back down. The only thing, as you can see here, as it's kind of a pain to get back in this bag. The morning, a couple days ago, I put it in this bag. I was really tired and just was not wanting to deal with this, so I just kind of did the lazy way and put half of it in the bag. So I'll put that in the bottom of the backpack, and then moving on here, I've got all my electronics, which I put in this waterproof stuff sack, and I've got all these charging cords and crap in here for laptop, iPod, phone, power banks, Fitbit, all that sort of thing. I put them in this plastic bag just so that the points here don't poke the stuff sack, because I don't want it to puncture and lose the waterproofness. So yeah, I've got the charging cables, and then I've got 2 power banks, a charger to charge multiple USB things with, and then a mouse for my laptop here, which is in the laptop case. And then moving on, I've got some tent poles for my tent, and part of my bike lock, which I'll throw in the backpack. This is the other part, but I do keep that in here. The panniers, the rear panniers. I don't have any front panniers. So yeah, this one, and then again my rain jacket. And yeah, for now I've just been stuffing it at the bottom of the backpack because I know I'm not going to need it. There's not been a cloud in sight for a while. And then lastly, for the backpack, I will put in some foodstuffs. Here I've got emergency food rations. That was a tip that I met a lady that did bicycle touring at a coffee shop in Pacific Palisades. Anyways, she was super friendly and super helpful, and she gave me a lot of tips on stuff to do with bike touring, and that's actually why I got these clips. She recommended them and mentioned that they would give me like a bunch more power when going up hills and just in general. And she was totally right. They helped a ton, so thank you. Thank you. So one of the things she told me, which I have found to be really helpful, is eat before you're hungry and drink before you're thirsty. So that's been good. And she also recommended that I keep an emergency stash of food. And yeah, I think that's pretty sound advice. Sometimes it's hard to plan out how much food you'll need and end up using. That happened to me a little while ago when I went up a hill and I used more food and water than I had been using on, the mostly flat stretches. So I think it's a good idea here. And I haven't had to dig into the emergency stash yet, but I'll keep it just in case. And then here I've got some electrolyte tablets. I like the ones with caffeine in them because I am a caffeine person. So I've got that. And then also, speaking of caffeine, I've been trying this thing where I'll just eat a few coffee beans in the morning, just to give myself a little energy boost, and that way I don't have to bring any kind of like Jetboil camp stove thing to brew up a cup of coffee. Yeah, I don't know if I will continue to eat these because they're really dry, and sometimes it's kind of hard to palate, but they get the job done. So, and then these I pack in the backpack as well. They're extra water bottles. I started by carrying water bottles like these liter ones here on the actual bike itself, but as they got exposed to the sun, they started to taste really bad. So I keep these cool and shaded in the backpack there, and then I just use them to refill the water bottles on the bike, and that seems to work better. And then I also have some smaller granola bars. I will eat these as like a snack, whereas like these ones with more calories, like the Cliff Bars, I'll eat those to kind of fill up, but these are just kind of like an energy boost. And yeah, depending on how much I'm carrying, I'll keep some in my handlebar bag over here, and the rest I'll just keep in here, but I try to keep this one fairly light just to cut down on the weight. And then moving on to the handlebar bag. This is my bag. I just got a cheap one on Amazon. I put some sunscreen here in the side pouch, and then it also has a pouch up here. I used to keep my phone and iPod in there, but it gets really hot. So yeah, I just keep them here instead now because it's I almost said isolated, wow, because it's insulated. Yeah, in here I just kind of keep my bits and bobs. I've got my wallet, I've got my prescription glasses, sunglasses, and then in here is just a bunch of random stuff. I've got my first aid kit, a necklace I wear in town, a lock for the bike lock, a lighter, spare hair ties, etc. So everything that's small and like that, I just kind of keep in here. And then here, I haven't had to use it yet, but I keep some pepper spray in here. And I've got a pocket knife. And then I've got my iPod. Old school one in a really beat up old case, but yeah, it's great, so can't leave that. And then here's my action camera. My Sony action camera. I really like this one. It's the only action camera I've had, so I can't really compare it to a GoPro or anything like that, but this one I do really like, so that's that. And then I'll keep one of these electrolyte tablet thingies in here too, with some food I'm going to eat for the day, just, you know, easy access to what I need when I need it. And lip balm and earplugs. I just started carrying these, and I'm really glad I did because the campsite I was last staying at was super windy, and these helped a ton. And they're also good for pretty much anywhere else I've been staying on this trip. Motels with super thin walls, and hostels with people that snore and come in late into the room, and yeah, they work really well, and yeah, I'm definitely keeping those. All right, then here, these are my panniers, saddlebags, whatever you want to call them. They actually came with the bike, so I don't know that much about them. But yeah, I bought my bike on Craigslist, and the guy who sold it to me said like, oh yeah, just go, you can keep the panniers and a bunch of other stuff he gave me too. So that was awesome. And yeah, they've worked really well so far. And let's see, Oh yeah, these things, they came with the reflective vest. So I just rigged them up here to kind of mark the corners and make me stand out a little more. So I figured it wouldn't hurt. So yeah, I've got two main pouches here. And then I've got two little side pouches. So in the main pouches, in this one, I've got a trash bag for laundry on rest days. And then I've got some spare Ziploc bags, just in case I need those. And then here, excuse me, here is the main bike lock, and I put that in here up against the flat side here. So on this side, it doesn't really matter what side, but I've just worked it out this way, you know, for convenience sake, like how I can access things, and just weight wise, because it's important to balance it out so you're not like leaning one way. So yeah, in this side, I've got the stuff sack with my sleeping bag over here. And in that stuff sack, I also put the cardigan. So that's most of the weight there. And then I used the bag that the sleeping bag came in, because it's not a stuff sack, it's just one of these kind of things, bags. And I put my clothes in here because it's waterproof, and I don't think these panniers are waterproof. So yes, I put my clothes in here. It's the day clothes that I'm wearing right now. It's just a tank top and jeans and underwear and good things like that. And these are my sleeping pants. And then I've got the toiletries bag. Just, you know, pretty self-explanatory stuff in there. And moving on. Oh yeah, so that is everything that goes into one side. And then the next side, I've got the other stuff sack, which has my tent in here. It's a 2-person tent, and well, I bought it for the price mainly, and it's a good quality tent. It's a Nemo, but it's not really designed to be lightweight because it's a 2-person tent, and so I think it weighs 5 pounds. So yeah, it's not super super lightweight, but you know, does the job. And then I've got just other random things. This one is a sleeping bag liner, and I haven't used this yet, but I'm thinking I may need to use it by the time I get to Oregon and Washington. So yeah, I'm just gonna hold on to that until I need it. Then here is my sleeping pillow, which it's deflating, so I may need to get a new one. I don't know what brand this is or how much it cost or anything like that, because somebody gave it to me. So, and then this one is my headlamp for camping. This is really useful. I use it as a light for my tent mainly, but also if I get into camp kind of late and I need to set up my tent in the dark, that's really, really good to have as well. And then I've got a smaller towel just for washing up at camp and at hostels, any kind of place where I don't have access to a towel. And then I've got a hairbrush. And in here are my tent stakes. And then this, really important, is lube for my bike chain. All right, and then lastly, I'll show you what I put in these little side pouches. I saved these for just medication and bike maintenance stuff. So in one side I've got a bike pump here. I've wrapped some duct tape around it, just in case I need to use that for any old thing. And this is a patch kit, and in here I've got some allergy medicine, and in here is Advil. And then on the other side, I've got some spare inner tubes, tire levers, a multi-tool, and just a rag for cleaning the chain and wiping off excess lube, and then hand sanitizer from Mission San Juan Capistrano. So yeah, that's everything. I'm thinking I might do another review at the end of the trip, and just go over stuff if I did drop or pack more stuff or less stuff. Yeah, just give a review of how everything stood up to, 2,200 miles of cycling. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you around.